Well, when I to go on the next one here, when I started to go to these counselors and all that, and to try to figure out what's going on here. I mean, why did I go from one counselor to another? When Carmen Gill was the first one that told me that from everything I described that your mother had been sexually molested as a child. Carmen Gill told me that she had received extensive training on how to minister to women that had been sexually abused, etc., and all the symptoms, characteristics, and all that. And but when I went to see her, I didn't. This is how I did it because Carmen Gill has always had this thing about me, and it's not good. But anyway, I told her that I'd gone to counseling to see her because that's what your mother asked me to do. So I said okay, and naturally you can't have counseling unless you talk about everything. So the sexual part was, but I knew that there was a bias, an anti-bias by Carmen Gill, which naturally came out in the court when she committed perjury. Well, anyway, let's not go into that one for right now. Um, but anyway, Carmen Gill told me she had all this training and all that, and when I described everything, she said, "I'm going to tell you something," because I told her was that I had seen a friend. He had been talking to me about his relationship with his wife and all that, and since he knew I was coming to you, he wanted to kind of me, since I already knew about what was going on in his life, to share with her what it was so that he could see what he should do and all that. And at the end of I did all that, and then Carmen Gill goes, James, this woman, man, she's been sexually molested as a child. She's got all the symptoms, everything that you tell me. James, are these people go to our church, the Spanish ministry, because this wife needs to come in here and she needs to talk to me. She needs to receive counseling. She needs healing, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And I said, well, Pastor, Carmen, I just no, this, yeah, they go to our church, but Pastor, I don't know if I can tell you because, the guy asked me to, be, you know, confidential, that he really didn't want me to, and she's very insistent. And then I remember, and I just sat back and I said, Carmen, I've just described to you my marriage. She totally almost fell out of her chair. She said, "You're talking about Mighty Soul?" I said, "Yeah, that's my marriage." She goes, "Wow." She said, "Mighty Soul needs to come talk with me. She needs." I said, "She's not going to do it. She won't. She won't even do it to this day. She'll be in denial for the rest of her life, etc." And if she does end up getting married, I already know it. Ask Carmen Gill. Ask anybody who's in this area of ministry, and they'll tell you that the problems go right into the next marriage. Ricky, you've been around. Do they not? Yeah, they sure will. And then, but the problem is this: the next time around, Ian, your mother's going to what? How's she going to blame it on the next guy? It's his fault, just like it was Michael's fault. It's James' fault. Why I can't be touched. Why it's get on and get off. Wow. How's she going to blame it on the next guy? How's it going to be his fault? But then she's a Busquet. It's always everybody else's fault. They're gods. So let's keep going. Okay. Every single one of them, including Carmen Gill, I asked one question, Katya. Listen very carefully, my sweetheart, my princess, my absolutely gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous daughter. Just like your brothers who are absolutely handsome as can be, blessed with great kids. That was a prophecy given by Sandy. Remember Sandy in Virginia, in Richmond? Can't remember their children's names right off the bat. This was prior, before I even dated your mother. Sandy had said to your mother that your mother and I would have beautiful children if we ever got married. I wasn't even dating your mother then. I was dating Lori. But anyway, the prophecy came through. You guys are absolutely beautiful children. Beautiful children. But anyway. I asked Carmen Gill, Frank Sullivan, Pastor Tom Dillahan, Pastor Pierre Aguilar at the church, Bob Yandy, and the other pastors, associate pastors, counselors, and so on. Juan Inga, Pastora Maria, everybody the same question. if it did happen, and if it was your grandfather that did molest your mother as a child or as a teen, is there a possibility that he would come after you, Katya? Hmm. Every single one of them said yes. Yes. If it was him as it looks, it is there is a small possibility, but it is there. None of them could say to me, "No, James, no way, it won't happen." No, they all said the same thing. The two psychiatrist ladies, the male psychiatrist, all said the same thing. Carmen Gill, Frank Sullivan, everybody. Katya, I was going out of my mind to think. And then when your mother told me that you were having dreams as a little, 12-year-old, of being raped by me, where does a little girl end up with dreams like that are such an abomination? And this was after I had been removed from the home. I'm gonna share on that. After I had talked to Carmen Gill, Frank Sullivan, and pastors, I was still trying to find someone to tell me, no, that's not what happened. No, your wife was not sexually molested. She doesn't have the symptoms, the characteristics. I was trying to find somebody, and everybody kept telling me it pointed to that. And everybody kept telling me that the possibility was there that you could be the next victim. Yes, I'm going ballistic. I can't sleep at night. Tears are flooding into my pillow for you, Katya. Because I know that now your grandfather does have time with you alone after school before your brothers get home. And these dreams that you started to have happened after I was removed from the home by your grandfather, Papon. It was after that, because I asked your mother when did the dreams start. It wasn't while your mother and I was still together. It wasn't. It was after your grandfather offered the house in exchange for your mother leaving me, dumping me on the street. It was during that time period where you were unprotected. This is when I was asking counsel from everybody, trying to figure out what to do. Frank Sullivan, everything. What to do for you, not for your mother, because she's already old enough. She's she wants to live in this mess. That's up to her. But trying to do, how can I protect you? They all told me the same thing. This was before it came out. After I had talked to, I can't remember, Armando, Jesse. They all said the same thing. I shared with them the same identical story, and they all said the same thing. Everything looks, James, like yes, based on what you're saying, your experience with Mighty Soul, etc. And Michael Hensdill, no, he lived this, so he knows that what I'm saying ain't bullshit. Excuse the word, but it's okay. The apostles used it, and they called it, at that time it was dung. The word shit did not exist at that time. Not shit. So if it had existed at that time, Paul would have probably put it right into the Bible. At that time, people said dung. So I'm going freaking nuts.